Hello and welcome to my channel Attila Tarot. In this video we will examine the relationship of Mark Carney and Donald Trump. Obviously they had their very first meeting. He is new to the scene. You can check out my videos on him and what his cabinet to expect. But I thought it would be good for us to actually look at what are the real energies between these two leaders, the Prime Minister of Canada and the President of the United States. And the way we're going to do it is a classic, for me it's classic because that's kind of my style, the way I do these relationship analysis. We're going to see what is Mark Carney is, how Mark Carney is relating to Donald Trump. We're going to look at how Donald Trump is relating to Mark Carney, what are the current energies, hindering factors, opportunities, and the final outcome of this relationship. But let's jump into it. So first we're going to start with Mark Carney. So the very first card we have for him is the Hierophant. So when you look at the Hierophant, it is something that represents faith. It represents having faith in yourself. It also represents very traditional institutions, structures, whatever you studied, whatever you learned, like large institutions. Obviously it can be institutions like the banking system, obviously it's been involved with Bank of Canada, Bank of England as well, traditions, as I said. So there's definitely all of those are coming with the Hierophant. But also a Hierophant is about commitment, making a commitment to something or somebody. So I think he is very committed to work with Donald Trump. He is also looking at it from a very institutional perspective, how to approach Donald Trump in a sense. But again, there's also like agreements that are in play when we're kind of talking about the Hierophant. There are, again, I kind of getting the commitment being a very important factor here, like being committed to him. We also have the next card as the Five of Pentacles, which is a card of struggles, the card of feeling lack, feeling left outside of the cold, when you're kind of having doubts about yourself. You don't necessarily feel that you are enough. You don't necessarily trust your abilities to be able to go through something. Like this is a lack of self-confidence type of card. And also challenges from an economic, financial perspective. So it might be that, through these two cards, he's definitely looking at the relationship from a financial perspective, the banking system, the economy, but also there's a sense of isolation, challenge, and maybe he feels out in the cold from the mainstream political influence, or also struggling in terms of support, but also just not having that confidence when he is dealing with Donald Trump. So I think I'm not saying that he's afraid from it, because I'm not seeing the fear card. It's more that he's just lacking self-confidence when it comes to dealing with him. Now the next card in the reading is the Queen of Pentacles. So Queen of Pentacles is an interesting card. It can be his energy as well, or somebody else's energy, because the kings and queens are definitely indicating people and personalities. And when you look at the Queen of Pentacles, she is somebody. I kind of get, so I'm just getting whatever he's getting. She's somebody who's kind of all about money, right? Like resources, finances, financial stability, luxury, and the home as well. And again, she's a very conservative leader from that perspective. So what I'm kind of getting here as well, that there's but also grounded. So it might be like, like a conservative, grounded approach that he might be trying to do with Donald Trump, and also just looking at the finances, looking at the economy, looking at what makes sense from the financial perspective, and what you can kind of see here from his end, whatever came out, he's very looking at this relationship from whatever he learned, whatever he studied through an institutional finance, economy point of view, and also there's a lack of self-confidence. But let's see what is the energy on the bottom of the deck. We do have here the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is a card that shows somebody who's very exhausted, very tired. This is the card of the wounded soldier, somebody who's been through a lot of difficulties, challenges, and ready to give up, but also very close to achieving whatever they've been working on. So when you look at the Nine of Wands from that perspective, I think he's resilient, he's guarded, experienced as well, and I think he's prepared for the challenges, because the Nine of Wands is somebody who's been through a lot. I think you can kind of see it through that. It kind of relates back to his institutional background in terms of the financial system, the economy as well. But again, like, he is kind of like a worn out soldier. That's kind of comes to me right now. Like he is somebody who's been through a lot, and again, but also you kind of see this wounded aspect of him when it comes to dealing with Donald Trump, in terms of feeling guarded, having a lack of self-confidence. So there's definitely all of that in terms of when he's approaching Donald Trump. But anyway, let's look at Donald Trump's energy here. So the first card we have here for him is the Five of Cups, Five of Swords. Well, I'm not really surprised about that, because this is a card of conflict. This is a card of heart conflict, when everybody is in it to win it. All that matters for the parties is that I want to achieve whatever I want, and it doesn't matter at what cost. I just want to win. There's no collaboration, there's no communication as well, right? And again, like, it's kind of very fitting for his style. He's looking at Carney from the point of view that I don't know, I don't care what this guy wants, I don't care what his country wants, but I just want to achieve whatever I want, which kind of what I'm getting here is resources that I'm getting with all that fires in the back, right? So again, he's ready for battle, and he's gonna do everything he needs to do in order to achieve whatever he wants. Okay, the next card on Trump's end is the Justice, which is a card of balance, harmony, being fair and just, and represents the legal system, agreements as well, and it can be also like, legal entanglements, karmic balance coming into play, possibly can be connected to lawsuits, accountability as well on his end, or I'm just kind of not necessarily seeing the outcomes of this. But also I think trying to kind of create this balance, whatever it is in his mind. And I think that balance is not really a balance. Because, you kind of, like, if it was really focusing on balance, then it was all about collaborating, communicating properly. And, with that Five of Swords energy, there's definitely a lack of communication, lack of collaboration. I just want to get whatever I want at no matter what price. Like, so he wants to kind of get this balance on his terms. That's kind of interesting to kind of get. But also we have here for Donald Trump the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is somebody who is who's kind of been through a lot. Somebody who's like very independent, somebody who's guarding themselves against certain things, what happened to them in the past. The Queen of Swords is also very sharp, logical, strategic, and they say whatever they think, and they don't really care about whether they hurt people or not, right? Like, they just say as they think. But also a card of clarity, so might be kind of connected to that okay, he might be getting some clarity when it comes to dealing with Carney, and he might be kind of in a mode of calculating thinking, or surrounded by advisors that are really, really sharp. So when you kind of look at the energies of the bottom of his deck, we have here the Two of Cups, which is actually positive, because it's all about alliance, reconciliation, working together, collaboration, balance, harmony. But again, when you kind of look at the overall aspects, I think he deep down, he's willing to collaborate, he's willing to work with Carney, but more on his terms, right? My balance is, and I will do whatever you want, and you need to kind of abide by that. So from that perspective, Trump shows us as a very combative, cunning, and seeking control, but not without a desire for sharing, power sharing, when it serves him, right? Like, it's very important that it has to serve his needs and his ego as well. Now let's see what are the energies for the current energies for this relationship. So the first card is the Hermit, which is all about strategizing, rethinking the path forward. Okay, what is that I want to achieve from this person? What is that gonna be my future goal? They're really in deep reflection and thinking about how to approach each other, right? Like, deeply in strategic mode. We also have here the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles, by its core, it's all about assessment, reflection, and thinking about that whether something that you started, is it worth continuing, or do you need to kind of approach things from a new perspective, from a new direction. So like, generally, like, you put a lot of effort into a project or a relationship, and you're kind of wondering, is this going into the direction that I want? So there's definitely a lot of it in that, in terms of assessing the long-term consequences. They're assessing whatever's going to happen in the future, and they kind of in a dilly-dally mode. That's what I'm getting at. Okay, is it worth to continue, or should we go into a new direction? I also have here the Devil card, which is all about power dynamics, control, obsession, and kind of like entanglement energy. When you're kind of feeling trapped, you're feeling that something is out of balance, control, obsession, and obviously when it comes to the devil, it can be also connected to that dependency. So there might be some kind of a dependency here from a financial perspective, economical perspective. It can be also like some kind of a dependency dynamic from between Carney and Trump as well, right? Because the devil is something that there's a control. Somebody is controlling somebody, and you can kind of see that puppet, that somebody is puppeteering here, and just looking at the personalities, it's more Trump who's the puppet master. I wouldn't kind of think that Carney is the puppet master. So there's definitely a strong dependency here. Again, I cannot necessarily tell you what that dependency, like, I don't know Carney's finances, how it is. Obviously, he's been not talking about it. He's been avoiding those questions through the debates, but there's definitely some kind of a financial entanglement when it comes to their relationship, right? They're strained and a distant relationship, which is really defined by power plays. And there's definitely a lot of reflection on the past and ideological entrenchment as well, with that Hermit and that Seven of Pentacles energy. But all in all, there's some kind of a dependency between the two of them. Well, let me know what you think in the comment. People have a lot of opinions, people have a lot of insights. Obviously, I'm only a card reader, so all I can tell you what the cards tell us, but there's some kind of a dependency. Now, when you look at the hindering factors, there's some kind of a communication here, that because, whenever I kind of get this throat, all right, so definitely can be something connected to communication when it comes to between the two of them. So the magician in a hindering factor can be somebody who is manipulating or trying to control the narrative, right? So there's a strong manipulation. Like the magician is really good in a positive way, but right now it's a hindering factor. So it can be a master manipulator as well from that perspective. So there's definitely a hindering factor, that somebody's trying to manipulate. Then you also have here the Page of Swords, which is, the card of curiosity, the card of clarity and learning new things. But it's also a card of gossip, spying, and not trusting. So all in all, there might be here some manipulation through spying, manipulation through information, manipulation through gossips as well, when it comes to the hindering factors of this relationship. Or manipulation through communication. Now we also have here the Five of Swords, which we've seen it showing up on Donald Trump's end. So there's definitely, I'm kind of getting that this is his energy, right? This is the winning at all costs, ego battles, conflicts, and just headaches, all in all. So I think that's his ego battles, and his winning at all costs is definitely hindering this relationship, and not having clear communication, right? So the manipulation through communication, not having communication and collaboration is definitely a big hindering factor, because these three cards kind of points to a distrust, mind games, right? And there might be some behind the scenes maneuvering, and kind of an indication that their agendas do not align really. Now let's look at the hindering factors. We just looked at those. Let's look at the opportunities. So the first card we have here is the card of the Six of Wands, which is a card of success, the card of victory, being in the center stage, and when everybody is watching you. So from that perspective, it shows that there's it is possible that they can have a victory, a great collaboration, and success if they move past the ego or the conflict, whatever is right now. So that's really great. But I'm kind of also getting here that social media and the public can influence this to a certain way, because the Six of Wands is when everybody is watching, being in the center of the attention, and it's a typical social media card as well. We also have here the Six of Swords, which is all about leaving the difficulties behind, leaving the challenges, the stormy weather, the big waves behind you, and arriving to calmer shores. So there's an opportunity for some big change, big transition as well. But again, this is not an easy card, because you're kind of making this decision to kind of leave something behind, with a very difficult heart in a sense, because you just don't know where you're kind of going. But again, like, because it is in the opportunities, I'm not necessarily reading it that they will kind of leave the relationship behind. I'm kind of leaning towards that they're going to be able to move past the issues, whatever they had. So there's opportunity for that. But again, it's opportunity. They need to kind of work together in order to achieve that. We also have here the Eight of Wands, which is actually positive because it's a card of progress, quick progress, like, when things are moving fast, when things are happening, and there's definitely communication, there's public eye as well, and things are in alignment, things are growing positively. So I think I'm just kind of thinking, like, sorry for my little break. I'm just kind of getting here the public. I think the public might have a very big influence in terms of how Carney and Trump can move beyond the previous challenges and the difficulties as well. And again, through diplomacy, strategic realignment, like when you kind of look at, there's these three cards of the Six of Wands, Six of Swords, and the Eight of Wands is definitely a sign that there's a chance for progress, mutual benefit, shared success, but only through a shift away from the entrenched positions, which, it can be difficult. But also, like, the two sixes, the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords, indicates that they are on the right path for that. Now let's see what's going to be the final outcome of their relationship. But before that, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's the best way you can help the channel. And you're also indicating me that, yes, I really enjoyed this video. And also, I want to take the opportunity to let you know that obviously I have many other videos that might be an interest of you. I have a lot of videos about Canada, a lot of videos about the US, their relationship, about Trump, about Carney. So definitely check those out. But even on a personal level, I have a lot of videos based on your zodiac sign that can help to guide your months through your money, career, finance, but also through the love and relationship point of view. So definitely check it out. And don't forget about the comments. Like, put into the comments, what do you think about their relationship? What do you think about how that Oval Office scene went down? I kind of feel that sometimes those Oval Office scenes are kind of pre-planned. It feels like more of a staged reality show than anything else. But anyway, let me know in the comment. But please be respectful with each other. And again, I'm just a card reader. So in the future outcome, we have here the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is confusion, not seeing things clearly, and also a card of seeing things more through a rose-tinted glass, trying to see things more positively than they are. Generally, it's a very dreamy outcome. It's a very dreamy approach of something. When you don't know which way to choose, you're confused. Okay, should I choose this path? Should I choose that path? And because there might be multiple possibilities here. So it looks like nothing is really set in stone yet in terms of how things gonna evolve. But also, I think they need to kind of, whenever they choose which path they're gonna go down, they need to evaluate it, how it really aligns with their long-term goals and long-term strategy as well. The next card we have here is the Wheel, which is actually indicates that there's going to be a change here in terms of the relationship between Carney and Trump. It's going to be a positive change. Like, faith is kind of in play here. This is kind of like when there's going to be something out of their control. There's going to be something there out of their control when, external forces could shift things unpredictably. Like, this is kind of like when the universe steps in. The universe steps in and put everything into alignment. Like, the energy of the Wheel of Fortune is positive change in the upright, and always read the cards upright. So it shows that there's a chance here for positive evolution. But I think there's going to be something happening here that they're going to be out of their control. That's going to be, I kind of getting that it's going to force them to shift things. There's going to be some confusion, and then I think the universe will step in some shape or form to change things around. Now, the last card, and then we're going to look at the bottom of the deck as well from this one, is the Star, which is actually a very positive card. It is a card of hope, healing, public image. It's something that, talks about when you kind of went through the storms, went through the difficulties, the challenges, and finally you're kind of gaining back the hope. It's a wish fulfillment card. And if you've kind of seen my videos, I generally say that about the Star, that in case of the Star, the universe is working to bring you your wish, your dream, or something better. Now, when you look at these two cards, in both cards, the universe steps in to bring some positive change. So I think when you kind of look at that, there's confusion, there's not seeing the way out. The universe somehow will step in very, very positively to turn things around. So which is great. I cannot tell you what that's going to be, but there's going to be some kind of a fated change that's going to turn things into the positive when it comes to the relationship between Carney and Donald Trump. Now, we also have here the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck, which is like, a card of tradition, the card of the institution, right? We've kind of seen it on Carney's side, the Hierophant, the institutions, the tradition, kind of playing a role, but also like, kind of getting here, like, because if I look at the Hierophant and the Star, there's also a connection to the universe, right? Sorry, I just hit the camera. So you kind of see how everything is kind of connected to the universe. The universe is kind of giving these instructions. So I think faith, I think traditions, and I think the universe will ultimately reassert itself into this relationship, how things gonna go. So when you kind of look at overall, the relationship may evolve through unexpected twists and turns, and there's a hope for alignment around shared ideals, but also not only with clarity and a higher purpose will guide them, right? Like I can tell you, that's the most thing that I sense, that the universe will really, really step in to guide these two guys. And I'm just gonna pull another card from the Indigo Goddess, which I have here, the Doorways, open possibilities, potential job opening, steps, walk away, risk, shift, focus. So I think there's going to be some opportunities here and some possibilities as well. There's potential between the two of them to get things better and taking steps from that perspective. But I think you're going to be able to, you see that there's going to be a shift in focus. And I can tell you, something's going to be happening where the universe will kind of force them to get things into realignment. But again, I'm not seeing anything negative, but there's something that's gonna bring them back to their senses. Kind of, that's what I'm getting. But anyway, that's all I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and definitely put in the comments, like, share, subscribe, and I hope I'm gonna be able to welcome you in another video.